Top 5 most dangerous borders in the world. For a lot of people, borders just mean a thin line on the map. For others, they're literal battlegrounds. Even if wars seem like a thing of the past, there are several countries that have tensions so high between their borders that if anyone were trying to cross between them, they'd find themselves right in the middle of a war zone. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 most dangerous borders in the world. Number 5. Russia and Ukraine. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine dates back to Stalin's leadership. He wanted to morph the entire Soviet Union into the Russian identity, which the people of Ukraine didn't want. In an act of war, Ukraine's food supply was cut off, which resulted in the deaths of millions of Ukrainians. In November of 2013, the then president, Viktor Yanukovych, made the decision to reject a deal that would have helped Ukraine integrate into the European Union. This caused major political unrest, and it was a perfect opportunity for the Russian forces to attack. By March 2014, Russian troops had flooded the capital city of Kiev, and it was successfully taken over by Russia. In July 2014, things got even worse when a Malaysian Airlines plane was shot down in the Ukrainian territory, killing every single one of the 298 people on board instantly. A year of investigation later, it was found that a Russian missile had shot the plane down and that the missile system had been moved into Ukraine's territory to launch the missile and back into Russian territory once the plane had been shot. Since 2014, it's estimated that the unrest between the two countries has caused the deaths of over 10,300 people and the loss of millions of dollars. Number 4. India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan separated into two independent countries in 1947 after decades of hostility and violence between Muslims and Hindus. The two countries share an 1,800-mile-long border together, and throughout the border, tensions are almost always extremely high. These tensions have left over 15,000 people dead. Much of the tension stemmed from the fact that when the two countries separated 74 years ago, they couldn't come to a decision about the area of Kashmir, which is still a disputed area. The constant heat from both sides has forced Pakistan to amp up its army, making it the 7th largest army in the world. Although there are years of rest here and there, for the most part the countries are almost always ready for attack. In 2019, India attacked the Pakistani territory, claiming to have been targeting a terrorist camp that, according to the Pakistani forces, never existed. The attack failed and resulted in an airstrike. The Indian plane was shot down and the pilot was captured. Although he was later released and sent back to India, to this day the situation at the border remains heated, with soldiers and civilians dying on each side every day, trying to keep their territory safe. Number 3. Saudi Arabia and Yemen. If we were to say that the Saudi-Yemen conflict is a complicated affair, that would be the understatement of the century. Yemen is actually the battleground for the proxy war happening between Saudi Arabia and Iran. What started off as tensions has culminated in an all-out civil war between the Iran-backed Houthi government, which is currently in power in Yemen, and the Saudi-backed Hadi government, which is currently in exile in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. Due to the hold of the Houthi government in Yemen, which Saudi Arabia has declared war against, Saudi Arabia has completely locked down the border between the two countries, making it a no-go zone for anyone. Rocket attacks, drone strikes, and literal hellfire missile attacks are extremely common on both sides of the border, making it one of the most dangerous places on the planet. Number 2. Syria and Turkey. Turkey isn't necessarily known as an aggressive country, but when it comes to Syria, it's been nothing if not hostile. This seems to be a necessity, but at a cost. For several years now, Turkey has been trying to create a safe zone in the 20-kilometer strip of land between Syria and Turkey, where the 2 million Syrian refugees who have been scattered all across Turkey could be resettled in. The area has been under the control of the Kurdish YPG militia for decades, and it has made it impossible for the people of Syria to return to their homes. Those who were there had to either flee or die. For years, Turkey has wanted the US forces to join in and help them create the safe zone, but to no avail. So on October 9th of 2019, Turkish forces launched airstrikes into the border on their own, pushing into the region with all their force. Although their intentions seemed to be in the right place, the attack caused the displacement of 300,000 people. 70 civilians in Syria and 20 civilians in Turkey have also lost their lives because of the conflict. As of now, the tensions of the border keep worsening, causing death and despair on either side of the borders. And number 1, North Korea and South Korea. When the Korean War ended in 1953, both of the countries' governments agreed that they would move their troops back, away from the border so there could be peace. A 2.5-mile wide buffer zone was created called the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ. Although the two sides agreed to a ceasefire, they hadn't signed a treaty that officially ended the war. US President Donald Trump tried to officially end the war with a treaty, but that too did nothing for the tensions that prevail between them. To this day, the North Korean and South Korean border is one of the most heavily militarized borders in the world. Hundreds of people have lost their lives in the buffer zone, including citizens of other countries. Even though it's been around 65 years since the buffer zone was created, anyone that's seen in the area is shot and killed on sight. This also includes the hundreds of refugees that try to illegally cross the border every year. And that's a wrap for the top 5 most dangerous borders in the world. Was there one that shocked you, or did we miss a border that you already know of? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. See you in the next video.